Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jordan Giesecke, and this is The Limiting Factor. Today we're here with Halter Ferguson, and we're testing out FSD 12. See how it does in my town, in rural Ohio.
Let's see how it does. Let's go. So I need a bright gray indicator to get it started. We're going to start off with a loop that Jordan has designed. Tell us a little bit about this loop.
Okay, so this is the loop that I usually do when I'm testing FSD on my vehicle. Usually there's no traffic here. So the street is very wide, and the car generally struggles to find a pathway down the road. And it kind of swims around in the lane or goes right down the middle.
Okay.
So hopefully when we come back, the traffic will be cleared out and we can test that. But this is good here because it's gives us a chance to test it in high traffic.
So we're at a middle school. It's 2:22 p.m. Kids are getting out of school right now. This is Dan O'Dowd's favorite type of video right here. Let's see if we can run over some kids. All right, it's a little reluctant with this kid on our right, but oh, we didn't get him.
So now usually what happens is the curb cuts in, and as you can see, it jumps out about 10 feet here.
Oh, okay.
So it's done well navigating that. Usually it tries to swim to the right rather than following the center line.
Okay. I'm gonna drop down our first destination. So we're in a town in Ohio.
Yeah, rural Ohio.
Rural area. Oh boy, we're supposed to turn right. I thought I got rid of this destination, but it's wanting to.
Oh wow!
It's wanting to park at this destination. So here we are. You've arrived at your tanning salon. I think it's saying you need a tan.
Well, that's right. I'm albino this time of year.
All right. So someone's parking behind us. They're getting their tan. School's out. Time to tan. All right. Hopefully we can get it going on the second destination here.
You might have to click done to have it update.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna start it. There's a tiny gap after this Jeep.
And this guy's going way too fast in the school zone. And that's probably why they have a dent in their car.
All right, so we're in a bad lane, but it'll get over at this light.
I've never used this lane before. That's interesting.
Ideally, you want a signal. We're not out of the school zone, so we need to lower the speed to 25. It's struggling a bit with school zone signs, we're finding out. It did in Michigan.
Now the reason why I took it around here is because up around this curve.
Now it signals, okay. And seamlessly merges in. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so generally what it'll do, my car, it'll just take the right lane. But what you really need is the center lane if you want to go straight. Because the right lane brings you into the school. Well, what it did back there was interesting because I wouldn't have used that lane like that, but you can.
You can, yep.
So that it navigated that well. Mine will often try to pull you into the school back there, even if the pin is dropped up here.
So I think we'll get a chance to try out some of the wide streets so you can see how it does. typically what we're seeing is it'll stay near the center line instead of like taking up the whole thing. This is technically enough room for 2 lanes, I think, and there's a big like patch spot right in the middle of the road, but it's sitting right in the middle, so that's not good. I would either be left or right.
For me, this is where I would drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so
I
you're
wouldn't-
the local.
Yeah, and I wouldn't get into one of these lanes up here until we're right up on it. So it's doing well.
So you would drive this street different than you would a side street that's got more houses on it.
Well, the thing with the street that I'm going to take you down here in a few minutes, that one has no lane markings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Okay.
It's different than this street, which does have a lane.
So far, it's passing the local test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels different, the way it accelerates, decelerates.
So didn't grab that school zone sign.
We are going 25. I didn't see what the speed limit was.
It actually did change to 25, but it didn't grab it immediately.
Oh, that's so much better. I get so frustrated with my car.
You like the acceleration?
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why I don't use it around town, is because people are like, it's a small town, there's not much traffic, everybody stops quickly, accelerates quickly, and if you just kind of creep through the intersection, you look like you're 70 years old.
No, it's not gonna try and stop us at this pin. It's just gonna move on. But you got to see what it's like when it is at its destination. It'll park you or drop you off right out front.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that is like perfect spot for you to get out of the door, and I can move on to my next Uber fare or whatever.
Yeah, it felt like a shuttle service. Now, after we go around this turn and at the end of the street, there's going to be a series of stop signs that are kind of in a triangle pattern. I think it's going to the right one. Yep. This is something that I
that's,
assume it's
that's
gonna,
pretty convoluted.
Yeah, you don't know which one you're supposed to stop for if you're.
All right, let me edit the trip. Done. So it's stopping at the pin, but now it's moving on to the next one.
Okay. This is the touring test for driving.
So we need to stop here, and then what are we supposed to do at the next
Generally,
one?
what I would do is I would swing wide,
Okay.
so I can. Okay, now what my car does is it just stops once and it blows through this one.
Okay.
So this one actually made a double stop,
Okay.
and it wasn't too bad. You weren't hanging out there too far. Whereas the 1 or 2 times that my car has stopped there, it has me stopped diagonal in the middle of the street.
Okay.
So it's better. Not as perfect as a human would do it, but
Yeah, our back end. So like people that would be coming through this way, if we were stopped there for a while, they would have to they wouldn't be able to proceed. Our tail end was kind of blocking them.
yeah. But at least it obeyed the traffic laws, whereas mine doesn't. It just shoots through.
I almost want to go by the school one more time before we do the country road test.
Okay.
Now there's some stop signs on country roads that your car tends to ignore on V11.
Yeah, it just blows right through them. Or I'm assuming it would blow right through them because I have to hit the brakes pretty hard to be able to catch it. And this is much better than my car. I would normally be about 3 or 4 foot over that way. Would just
Okay.
so you're still in your lane, but it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a little bit weird. It's probably going a little bit too far left than it should, but
Well,
better than mine.
there was a branch over there,
Okay.
so it adjusted over.
And then when it turns up here,
Okay.
generally what it does, even though there's no stop sign, it'll stop before it makes the turn.
Okay.
And I don't know why it does that. So we'll see if this one
So
stops.
Typically, you'll see this slow down to about 12 miles an hour. It may go a little lower because this is a
There's
slower
dappling.
turn.
There's dappling of light too, which we've
Yeah.
experienced.
So we got 8 miles an hour. Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Mine would have come to a stop.
All right, we'll go back to near the school, and we'll put it right here. So you're at your destination. Boom.
Sweet.
Get out. Just kidding.
All right, started.
Okay. We are back, and we're gonna go by the school and see how it does with all that pedestrian traffic, all the craziness with the other cars. Okay. Good. We waited for the pedestrians till they signaled that they were going to go that way.
And that was confusing because I thought they were going to cross the street in front
Yeah,
of
I
us.
thought they were going to cross right in front of us too. This is kind of like the V12 pose right here.
Oh yeah,
We're
just-
both sitting this way with our hands on our
Mhm.
on our lap.
So is the nag worse with this version? Because I'm a couple generations back, or a couple versions.
I'm
back.
not sure. We've driven it a lot this week, so I'd have to try V11. Oh, there we go. We got a nag at a stop sign, so that's pretty naggy.
Now, when you usually I use the scroll wheel
Uh,
to remove the nag.
you can't.
Instead of
It doesn't work with this one. So everything cleared out.
Yeah.
It didn't dive over to the right there. There weren't any buses there.
Nice.
And it didn't like try to fill that space unnecessarily. What do you think?
Yeah, it did a good job. That's how I would have driven it, and it's a spot where my car would have had or has issues occasionally.
All right.
And you want to cut over to the right here, unless
Okay.
there's something you want to go over there. We'll go around that turn again and see how it does at a higher speed.
Which turn do you want to do?
The one that we went around before, where it tends to take the right lane,
Okay.
and then from there we'll go to
All right.
Lakefront and Country.
All right. So we're testing this lane selection here. See if it picks the middle lane again. Got to test if we got lucky or if it's might be fixed.
Oh yeah, it did it. It did what it's supposed to.
Good.
And generally what mine does when it comes up on that turn, it comes up real quick and then it hits the brakes and it kind of does an awkward braking around the turn.
Mhm.
Whereas with this kind of, there was no strange acceleration or deceleration. It just kind of went through.